Welcome to the last elite boss of this update, because the next one is going to be happening hopefully if there are no unforeseen events on update 49, which is coming out in just a handful of days. Super excited about that one, but let's clear out the last boss, which is going to be phase. We haven't seen phase in a very long time, so let me just show you guys the modifiers, which are basically almost nothing. The boss health of 105, the boss speed of 110, then we can use every single tower. So pretty much very chill, a very easy boss event. I like to think not as much farming space on this map as usual, so only like this side like line, vertical line next to Benji. We have a couple of spots here up top, and then maybe we can fit 3 farms here down bottom if I remember correctly, but that's gonna be about it, I think. So for this one, let's actually try and farm a little bit with a Miniopolis, which is something that I've not bought in a very long time. So not the IMFopolis, but the Miniopolis itself. And then I think I'm gonna have the village like this, and we're gonna fit at least 3 farms in its radius, which I know it's not a lot, but it is what it is with this map. Alright, so getting it going, I bought the bank, and I'm just gonna go for a greater production farm. We need to get going on the village, and then kind of soonish we're gonna be selling this bank, and then we're gonna be putting all the money into the Miniopolis. So the bank is full, and let's go like this. Let's collect, let's sell it, and then we can get the upgrades like this, and go like this, sell this guy. Actually, we are gonna sell this guy as well. Let's place a farm, just a single farm, Monkeyopolis, and then we're just gonna be spamming a bunch of marketplaces, I was thinking, until we reach the tier 1 boss. These purples are actually being a little annoying, so if I can hit 3, I think we got 2 with that crusher, which is, I guess, better than nothing. I mean, we're defending with a wall of fire. This is just like a 1-2-0 wall of fire in this dark monkey. So yeah, it's obvious that we're gonna leak these guys in the early game, but let's actually go like this, get a 200 farm going, and then I think we're gonna need some camo detection. Actually, let's do the camo like this. Let's get a 0-1-0 sniper, which I know is a little bit cheap, but this guy's gonna be one-shotting the yellows because he gets +2 damage versus camo balloons. And all these reds, we can just use the crusher on them, and we can save a lot of money and just reinvest the money into farms. And that's basically it with these farms, honestly, because you can only fit 3 in the radius, but it's completely fine. I mean, we can just spread up top now, so let's just buy like, do we buy one more marketplace actually? Do we start saving up money for the elite defender? I was thinking, let's get rid of the boss as fast as possible so that we can sell the elite defender and then go back into farming again. So we're gonna need 14.7 for this guy. In comes the boss, by the way, so I think the HP was at like 110%. So really nothing too complicated, nothing too scary, nothing that we haven't seen so far for sure. There goes the money for the elite defender. So I'm just gonna buy this guy. I think I'm gonna set him on strong, so we're only focusing down phase, and he should be able to take out the boss by himself. It would be nice if we leaked some balloons, like for example this ceramic balloon actually. Yes, let's leak this thing so that we... Oh my god, no, what happened? Wait, I thought I had this guy strong. Why did we target the ceramic? Oh, you know what? I think we did so much damage to the boss that he does his jump, and while he does the jump, he's invulnerable. So the elite defender were searching for another target, and that's basically the way we're gonna get to see this thing happen with the 0 down bottom. Yes, we're gonna leak some lives, and then boom, the extra attack speed is just going at it. Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted to achieve. So let's just keep placing a couple of farms onto this vertical line, and then we're gonna be buying a couple of central markets. We're gonna sell those central markets later on the line, then we're going for the banana central as usual. Yeah, so around 49, it's not going too slow. I mean, it's going as expected, honestly. This is a very long map. The elite defender is definitely taking its time. This is the last HP bar, and I would have loved to just like have this thing speed up a little bit so that we can sell the elite defender. This guy's worth 17,000, and that's the amount of money that basically a central market upgrade costs. So but there we go, we defeat this one. So that's gonna be the tier 1. That is a pretty easy cleanup, you know, nothing new. You guys pretty much know how the drill goes. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sell the elite defender. I'm gonna buy 1 central market like this. Actually, we have the money for 2 of these guys, and oh wait a minute, these lead balloons, let me just... No, wait a minute, I'm missing the target. I'm panicking a little bit. Are we gonna survive all this, guys? I hope we do. We're gonna need the money for the dragon's breath, and then if we do get the money for this guy, I think we're gonna be fine. Yeah, I'm just spamming the button, and now that we got the dragon's breath, I mean, it's gonna be kind of tight at the end. A lot of ceramics and everything. Yes, I think we do have it. It's only the mob left over, but he's gonna get Trojan. There we go. Alright, so I think it's time for us to sell all of these central markets on the side. The money should be about there. Actually, we have a couple of marketplaces up top, so let's... Oh, we're very close. I think we're actually gonna get it if we sell both of these guys. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's buy the banana central, and then we're gonna get an overclock for this guy. Hopefully somewhere on the side in the range of the discount village. and there we go. So we're just gonna be keeping this guy overclocked. It's around 58, so a little bit late with this setup for sure, but honestly this is like phase and not too difficult of a boss in general, so I don't mind being a little bit behind the farming. Alright, so the tier 2 boss is out, and I want to use the mat to defeat this guy. So yeah, it's just gonna be basically the mat attack versus a boss that doesn't summon anything. Well, I guess there are gonna be like rounds like 63, for example. I was thinking our setup is not strong enough though, so maybe we need to buy something else to kind of help these guys out a little bit. There goes the first wave of ceramics. Actually, let's use Ben's level 10 ability to basically reduce these ceramics into rainbows so that we can deal with those guys, and then we have the Darkling ability for the last wave, which is coming out, so let's just use it. Let's get rid of this one. The money should be about right. Yeah, there we go. So let me buy the mat now, and this guy, yeah, he's just gonna eat up the boss by himself. So while we're farming, I'm going to talk to you guys about the new Desperado tower, by the way. So how are you guys liking it after the early access videos? Have you watched the early access videos, by the way? Because we did drop them yesterday, and if you guys have not, I'm gonna drop the link in the first comment down below. And I was really curious about your guys' reaction, because my first reaction was like, this is a really cool tower. The concept of Desperado is definitely different than anything you've seen so far, because he's a tower that needs to be placed somewhere outside, like outside the range of the other towers if you're going for the bottom crosspath, or outside the range of the Bloons and the track if you're going for like the top crosspath and the middle one. So the tower itself is basically single target focused, or like it doesn't have a lot of AoE in itself unless you're going for the bottom crosspath. The top and the middle one are just like, they have a little bit of AoE for sure, but like the top is purely a single target one, and then the middle one has a little bit of AoE to it. One of the things that I think we can agree for the Desperado tower is the names of the tier 5s. I mean, that thing goes really hard. The Blazing Sun is the top one, the middle tier 5 is Golden Justice, and the bottom one is the Desert Phantom. I mean, come on. How cool does that sound? Yeah, for sure. And yeah, like, I like the crosspaths for sure, but I do think that there's kind of this power discrepancy between all of them, and I feel like the bottom crosspath is gonna be the people's favorite crosspath by far, and then the rest are just gonna be used as necessary, I think. And just kind of touching on the top path Desperado, and we're just gonna move on to the tier 3 boss, but I think that guy, because he's super cheap and the pricing is about closer to the tag zone, he's like $17,500 for the tier 5. That's very cheap. Because he has a lot of single target damage and you can buy innate camo, he is gonna be very, well, actually, let me not say it, but he might be very cool versus some bosses, right? For example, Phase. And the tier 3 boss is out. I'm gonna defend this thing by using the Dark Paragon, but I was just kind of thinking, where do we want to place it? Because Phase just keeps jumping all over the track, and I think this is gonna be a good spot, right? Because it does seem to cover like the most important parts of this track. So let's buy it right now. I'm not gonna be putting any cash into it. That's gonna be degree 23, which is usually more than enough for the tier 3. I mean, the damage is going just super well at this point. It's just that if these jumps are gonna mess with us, so hopefully we just pop it is pretty much as fast as possible, right? So we don't get some unpleasant jumps. Yeah, I think this is a good spot. So he's still attacking it. Look at where the boss is. He's in the bottom track and he's still attacking. So that means that we're going to be attacking it here on the right side as well. And then if he somehow makes the turn and goes back on the right side, then we're going to get to one more round of attacking. So I think this is the perfect spot basically for this Paragon. Yeah, so just one last jump and we're just going to proc it in the perfect spot because he's going to land on top of the Dart Paragon and just do the damage. So that's pretty much it. So this is going to be the last one. I'm just even going to dump like one celebratory spike storm that we have. This is just like a tier 4, but there it is. This was actually a great spot for the Dart Paragon. So there goes the tier 3. Nothing too complicated. Honestly, I think I'm going to keep this guy on screen, and then how do we want to deal with the other tiers is the question now. Alright, so 99 is out and the tier 4 is about to come out. So here's what I was thinking for the tier 4. We drop in a Ninja Paragon because we have not seen this guy in a very long time. So let's just put not all the money in it, but like let's just put in like 200,000. That is going to give us a, what's that degree that we're getting? It's going to be a 29. Okay, we could have put a little bit more cash in it, but this is going to be perfectly fine for the tier 4, and it's going to do a little bit of damage in the tier 5. I was just mainly trying to save up some cash for the tier 5 because I wanted to buy either the Spike Paragon or the Ace Paragon, one of those two for sure. Maybe we just switch things up when we go for the Spike, because usually we go for the Goliath, right? So maybe we can buy the Spike this time around. It's still a very expensive Paragon, the Spike, spike as well, so we're just gonna need to save every single bit of money that we can. But yeah, these two seem to be absolutely destroying the boss, especially with these charges on the ninja. Oh my god, they're so good. Alright, so one last HP bar. This is going even faster than the tier 3 if you guys are noticing. At this point we are at like one jump left, one skull left, and we're just absolutely demolishing this tier 4. So as expected, we have about $800,000. We have 2 paragons on screen which are basically gonna be tickling the tier 5, but you know what, we are gonna buy the spike paragon as our last one. So yeah, I'm gonna see you guys in a second for that one. Alright, so this is round 120, and I'm just buying the last of these sacrificial spikes that we're gonna need for the paragon, and then after that we're just gonna put all the money into the spike paragon. On second thought, maybe we should have went for the Goliath, because the spike paragon is just gonna be dropping spikes in like one single spot, and this is phase at the end of the day, so he does a lot of jumps, but I guess it's gonna be fine. So let's just put all the money into this guy. What's the degree that we get? It is a 41. Alright, let's see if we can make this thing happen. So let's go. The boss has 17 million HP, and let's just keep... Oh, I had a tech bot. Actually, let's just use the tech bot, because I don't think you mind using the abilities on the spike paragon off cooldown. So let's just keep using it. Let's just see this spike again ability. Alright, he's gonna walk into all of these mines. Let's see how much damage he's gonna take. Can we... I don't think we can move the spike paragon, guys. Like, let's make a heli paragon, and let's just like have the heli be able to move paragons as well, because once he does that, that's really annoying. So he goes through all of like these spikes and he destroys them, but he doesn't take any damage while he's in the traveling phase, so that's a little bit annoying. We're gonna get our spike again though, or actually we just got the explosion from the previous spike again, and it does do a lot of damage for sure. Let's, I guess, buy something like this. I mean, this is gonna be a global tower, right? The cripple moab gets some extra damage, and let's get one more spike again ability getting launched. We are gonna need Bloons to just like go into these mines so that we can actually detonate them. That's like the biggest problem that we have. But the spike again is coming off cooldown, so when this ability comes off cooldown and when it gets triggered, it's gonna activate all the mines on the screen. So just watch the HP or shield in this case. Boom, there we go. Yep, very cool features. So if you trigger the ability and all the mines are left on the field, it's just gonna detonate them all at once. Unless a balloon walks into them, then it's just gonna be detonated naturally, right? Yeah, definitely going a little bit slower just because we have a paragon that just doesn't work versus a boss like FaZe. I mean, this guy just keeps teleporting, and all of our damage from our strongest paragon is just like concentrated in this little spot down bottom. But you know what? Even though it's gonna be close, we do have this thing because there are no more jumps left. Let me just check the ninja's pops. So this guy is carrying hard. 35 million? Just check the spike. The spike's at 8. It's closer to 19 million pops. Oh my god. Yes, and as the boss is entering these mines, this is basically what is gonna be the end one for it. So yeah, that's gonna be the last elite phase of this update, and then next week we're gonna be playing on the new update. So there we go. That's gonna be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you guys very soon.